In West Bay and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Seaboard Marine. With over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling 949-4977 or visit seaboardmarine.com for competitive rates. Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. Fidelity Bank. For all your banking needs, visit fidelitygroup.com. Fidelity. We're good for you. And Roper's Janitorial. Complete janitorial service for commercial, industrial, and residential. They get the job done right every time.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome to For the Record. We were a little bit late getting to you this morning, but never mind. We're still here with you. No doubt there will be possibly several persons running late this morning as well, and we will talk about that a little bit later also. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the very busy roads of the Cayman Islands into your places of work, whether it be an office cubicle or if you're working in the outdoors. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman and is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. Our phone lines are always open. There is always someone there waiting to take your calls. This morning, it is the voice of Silver Fox, Mr. Paul Akal. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number is 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. If you don't like to talk on the telephone, you can email us at For the Record. That is one word, For the Record, at candw.ky. WhatsApp us on 925-3261, where we encourage you to send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And, of course, you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. I trust that all of you had an enjoyable evening. We got some precipitation over the night as well, and by the looks of it this morning, and based on the forecast as well, with a 60% chance of showers today and this evening as well, we're likely to get some more precipitation. So those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, whether you're a pedestrian, whether you're a cyclist, operating any type of motorized vehicle on the roads of the Cayman Islands, again, we urge you to be extremely careful. Kindly ensure that you observe the rules of the road, and also remember that the life that you save may just be your own. So please exercise caution, care, and patience as well on the roads of the Cayman Islands. We have no guests in the studio, so we're going to have an open line, quite possibly after the 9 o'clock news or before that. We may have a guest in the studio. But there is so much for us to talk about this morning. So many irons in the fire, so many topics. You would swear that we're almost getting like the United States of America now with the whole issue of impeachment and Trump, where there's breaking news practically on an hourly basis. There's breaking news. Well, here in the Cayman Islands, we have no shortage of it as well. Of course, those items that are on the front burner for us are the traffic issues, of course. And, of course, we see now also where a referendum bill has been published, and there have been, the question has been set. Of course, all has to be passed in the Legislative Assembly. The date for the referendum has been set as well. That is likely to be controversial in some in some circles. That is likely to be a controversial date as well. Quite possibly the question also. Of course, I pointed out that in terms of a referendum question, you always want to be the best practice, international best practice is for it to be binary, so that you can clearly make a yes or no response or answer based on the question that has been posed on the ballot paper. So lots to talk about in that area as well. The month of October, the Older Persons Month that we're celebrating, and we have some new ambassadors for the year as well. I want to talk somewhat about them. So the mic will be, the line will be open for you to be able to converse with us. I'll start off by talking about the traffic problem and sharing with you the statement that was issued on October 3rd. That would have been yesterday by the Honorable Joey Hugh, Minister responsible for, in this case, we just bring it down to transport, roads, infrastructure, and says the Minister of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure. Sorry, I think I included transport in that, but it isn't. Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure is aware of the extreme traffic delays experienced by motorists coming out of the eastern districts this morning. That was yesterday, particularly from the Prospect community. And I pause there for a minute to say that those delays may occur again this morning, and we want to rely on you, those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, to let us know what is happening as far as traffic is concerned, and in particular from the Eastern District. The press release goes on to say, we apologize to members of the morning public for the inconvenience. We ask for continued patience as the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure, National Roads Authority, and the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service work together to roll out interim solutions as we seek to find the right balance to our traffic flow. We will keep the public updated on these plans as well as other long-term solutions to ease the traffic congestion across the district, and the release ends there. So it is being attended to by all of the stakeholders in this particular instance, and of course we will hear more from them, and we're looking to hear from you. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands this morning, ensure that you're obeying the law, hands-free if you're using a phone, but let us know what's happening as far as the traffic is concerned. Time for us to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, sponsored by Cayman National Bank. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
The earliest records of logging and settlement of the Cayman Islands were determined by the way of the issue of the first documented land grants between the years 1735 and 1742. Originally, these deeds were referred to as patents. It is believed the first land patent issued in 1735 illustrated the Jamaican authorities' need of raw materials and to support the war with the Maroons between 1730 and 1739. The four land patents between between 1741 and 1742 were believed to be based upon the new phase of colonial expansion and the increased view of the strategic importance of the Cayman Islands due to the ongoing wars with Spain and France. Two significant conditions differed between the 1735 grants and those in 1741. First, people found to be established on the granted lands were permitted to keep them. And second, the grantees were required to bring 10 white servants to their plantation.
Radio Cayman's historical facts vignettes are proudly brought to you by Cayman National, with branches on all 3 Cayman Islands. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs.
When you need stability, think Business of the Year.
Considering a new career opportunity, think Best Place to Work.
When dependability matters, think Outstanding Workforce.
In need of a reliable financial partner, think Bank of the Year.
When you seek excellence, think Cayman National.
No matter how many accomplishments we achieve, we always set the bar higher. That's why we are the most awarded bank in Cayman, and we are proud to be your
2018 Bank of the Year.
It was a day that changed my life. No words can describe the feelings of seeing my baby boy sick for the first time. The overwhelming feeling of fear to be responsible for his health and happiness became my priority. So I did what any nurturing mother would do when their baby is sick. I took him to get some of the best medicine possible.
CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy understands the importance of careful decisions you make every day for your family. Our staff work towards healthcare excellence and providing the most current and up-to-date training with pharmaceutical care, so you can feel confident in knowing that your family is safe with the right medication. At CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, we take care of your health.
Have you seen the latest? Cayman has been ranked the most expensive place to live. It's time to buy smart. It's time to buy Ropers. Find everything for your home and kitchen at low prices at Ropers. Ropers Janitorial, 949-2511. Email janitorial@ropers.ky. Clean up your spending with Ropers Janitorial, 949-2511. Ropers Janitorial also offers complete janitorial service for commercial, industrial, and residential. They get the job done right every time. Ropers Janitorial, 949-2511.
Congratulations, I hear the family is expanding.
Yes, our family is growing bigger, but I don't know how we're going to get around. Our old car just doesn't have enough room.
You should head over to Vamp Motors and ask about the Toyota Rush. It's a 7-seater SUV with lots of room and safety features, and it's on sale for just $21,900.
Rush in to Vamp Motors for the best deal of the year on the Toyota Rush SUV. Save up to $2,600 with Vamp cashback and the Toyota factory rebate going on right now. Fuel efficient, stylish, roomy, and loaded with safety features. The Rush is the perfect SUV for you and your family, starting from just $21,900. Visit Vamp Motors and drive your deal home today while stock lasts.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
Hi, I'm thinking of buying a car from the States. Which port do you ship out of?
Hi, we ship out of Miami, Houston, and Brooklyn. Just let us know your port of choice and we can provide you with a quotation and answer any questions you may have on ensuring and protecting your vehicle during its journey.
Shipping shore to shore, Seaboard.
2019 marks 100 years of junior achievement worldwide. Junior achievement in Cayman is now 29 years old. To celebrate and support this milestone, help Junior Achievement Cayman to continue our work, guiding next generation Cayman to new horizons in life and business. Get your ticket and enter to win an exclusive trip to Namibia, known as a smile on the face of Africa, offering a unique blend of amazing desert scenes, exquisite wildlife, and fascinating tribal cultures.
Get an adventure of a lifetime while supporting Junior Achievement.
Purchase your ticket and stand a chance to win an exclusive all-inclusive 16-day tour to Namibia for 2 persons. Namibia can be reached from the Cayman Islands with Delta Airlines flights via Atlanta and Johannesburg. Experience the astounding and desolate dunescapes of South Namibia, the amazing endangered wildlife of the Etosha National Park. Purchase your ticket today. Junior Achievement, another Rotary Central inspiration project.
Get your Junior Achievement Namibia Safari tickets on eventpro.ky before the drawing on October the 26th.
Sometimes having a middleman is not a bad thing, especially when it comes to insurance. Do you know that when it comes to cost, ease, speed, and peace of mind, insurance brokers ranked higher than when customers buy direct? So, for all your insurance needs, call Fidelity Insurance. We're the middleman you want. Call us today at 949-7822. Fidelity. We're good for you.
In recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens presents the Brenda Tibbetts Lund Memorial Walk Run with 2 dates and locations for your convenience.
On Saturday, October 5th, take part in a 5K walk run at Kaibo, Waterkey Beach. And on Sunday, October 13th, join a 5K walk run or 10K at the 7 Mile Public Beach.
The Brenda Tibbetts Lund Memorial Walk Run, October 5th at Kaibo Waterkey Beach and October 13th at the 7 Mile Public Beach.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio, so we have an open line for you this morning. We have a caller, and I will go to that caller in a second just to read what one of our listeners who's on the roads of the Cayman Islands has sent to us and say that the police are at the Red Bay roundabout directing traffic at 3 of the junctions, but not at the Old Prospect Junction. So they're not at the Old Prospect Junction, but they are at the Red Bay roundabout directing traffic in 3 of the junctions. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, good morning. I was just by the Red Bay roundabout, and I think the flow through the Old Prospect Drive is being monitored at the other end. That's why the police don't need to be by that roundabout. That's only people there, residents in that area, or people dropping off their children to school. Montessori. So that traffic is just natural traffic from that area.
Right.
But it is working fantastic with the officers there. It's just taxing on their service to us, but we really have a problem with a lot of cars on the road. It took me a while to get on the main road. But once I got on Shamrock Drive off of Prospect Drive,
yes,
we started to flow. But it takes 3 officers to monitor the traffic flow from the 3 main arteries coming up out of town, coming from the Red Bay School area, and coming down from these districts.
Okay. Now it seems as if the light that they have posted on South Sound Road for the evening traffic, that appears to be working pretty well. In your opinion, do you think something like that would work with the traffic coming from the Red Bay School area? Now, of course, we have to bear in mind that not only are parents who are dropping their children off to school at Red Bay coming using that road, but all of the persons living in the Prospect area are using it as well. Do you think something similar could work there?
I'm not sure because there's so many feeders that goes into that corridor on Shamrock Drive, Victory Avenue, Prospect, Marina Drive.
Yes,
and that there are major subdivisions with a lot of employees that need to get to work. And on the morning time, it would probably frustrate a lot of people in the Prospect and Red Bay area to have the red light for them. But if it helps, it probably worth a try. But I think it works better in the evening because afterwards you're going home and it doesn't affect productivity. But in the morning, you want to get productivity started as early as possible.
Okay. Do you have a view as to, other than the fact that we simply just have too many vehicles on the roads of the Cayman Islands and certainly not enough road infrastructure, and the way that the road infrastructure is cannot accommodate it, but why has this occurred all of a sudden, especially with this the new school term starting?
I think we got a lot more cars during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
400 more cars on the road. And 400 more cars, you will see the impact on traffic flow.
Uh-huh. But someone mentioned the fact that some school hours had been changed, so we're ending up with the persons who are actually going to work and not dropping a child off to school, being on the road at the same time that those parents are on the road, taking their children to school because of some change in the time. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, I'm aware of the time, but I don't think that's a major factor, because the change in time is with public schools, and public schools uses the bus system,
mm-hmm.
and the bus system is not really a burden on. It actually alleviates traffic, because it'll take 900 more cars or 800 more cars that would normally be going to John Gray. Don't have to go to John Gray. They
mm-hmm.
can take their time and find a way to work at their own time. And if we was to employ some kind of flexi time, I think we could increase productivity that way.
Okay. So you say that once you reach a certain point, traffic is flowing as it normally does?
Actually, it's flowing even better on South Sound Road now. There's a really good flow. You're all going at the
normal
limit,
yes, mm-hmm.
and it is less traffic than it used to be. You would normally have a wait maybe by. You probably start slowing down by the church, a little bit past the United Church, and from the junction,
mm-hmm.
and I'm almost on Walker's Road now.
Okay. So further up in the Prospect Red Bay area, that is still where the issue lies.
That way it starts to bottle.
Mm-hmm.
When after you come off those two corridors, coming by Barcam and coming down,
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and even though we have two corridors all the way up to Swartz Newlands, some mornings when I'm on my way to work at 7:15, traffic like to northward, and I'm like, wow. I don't know how they can solve this one, but I think the police got a good grasp of it from using the helicopter a few days ago,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and seeing how it looked and how they could kind of manage the flow.
Yes,
and I think they're doing a good job at the Red Bay Junction this morning.
Okay, thank you very much, for that information, and we trust that others will share their experience with us as well, because I believe again that it is only through the feedback that we get from the road users that will help to address the problem as well. Folks, we've reached the top of the hour, 8 o'clock. We're going to go to the 8 o'clock news. When we return, I'm going to talk about the referendum bill. I will read for you the press release in relation to it, and already getting feedback from our listeners, those who have already looked at the referendum bill as well as the schedule, and they already have their comments in relation to that. So please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Radio Cayman time check is now 8 a.m. This time check is brought to you by our friends at Price Right. Live better for less.
Price Right is Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore, making your dollar go further with huge savings and no membership fees. Get more of the things you use every day at the right price. But it's not just grocery and health and beauty. Price Right has a full range of products from office to automotive, patio furnishings to kitchen appliances, and even electronics. And since warehouse prices mean savings for you, everything is priced right at Priced Right, Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sun.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by Sagicor. Let us put a smile on your face. Call 949-8211.
Access to information. Your community. News and information. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, I'm Shanda Gallego with your latest news. The Cayman Islands referendum bill is gazetted. On Thursday, government gazetted a bill for a law to provide for the holding of a people-initiated referendum on the issue of whether the islands should continue to move forward with the building of the cruise berthing and enhanced cargo port facility, and for incidental and connected purposes. The bill provides for the holding of a referendum under Section 70 of the Constitution of the Cayman Islands. Cabinet has determined that the referendum will be held on Thursday, December 19, 2019. Cabinet has settled the referendum question as required by the Constitution, which will be, should the Cayman Islands continue to move forward with building the cruise berthing and enhanced cargo port facility? The response to the question will be simple, yes or no. The Supervisor of Elections has confirmed that given the staff training and other preparations that the Elections Office has already undertaken, he is confident that the Elections Office will be operational and logistically ready to meet the timeline of December 19th for the holding of the referendum. And whilst Referendum Day will be a public holiday, licensed bars and similar establishments will be permitted to remain open to minimize disruption during the holiday season. Cayman Islands Government TV, CIGTV, comes to an agreement with the Cayman Compass to share community-based news content. Radio Cayman's April Cummings explains.
The collaboration is billed as one that will enable CIGTV and Compass Media to create and promote a sense of community, providing access for more people to community news through print, broadcast, and digital platforms. Premier the Honourable Alden McLaughlin says he is very happy that they were able to reach an agreement to that end. The news comes several weeks after the island's only independent television station shut its doors. CIGTV News Director Donna Bush says the goal from her perspective is to provide the best content available for viewers both locally and internationally, and working in partnership with others is important to achieve that goal. Noting in recent weeks, CIGTV has partnered with the National Weather Service, adding national weather updates to the CIGTV News Update. A press statement says that government is not subsidizing or paying for any of the content, and the arrangement is not exclusive, which means CIGTV continues to welcome video content from other local media and community partners. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
If you are a content producer and would like information on how you can contribute to CIGTV programming, contact donna.bush@gov.ky to find out more. The content sharing arrangement with Compass, by the way, will begin on Monday, October 7th, to coincide with the relaunch of the Cayman Compass. In other local news, tobacco license holders are reminded to avoid late fees. This report now from CIGTV's Donna Bush.
The deadline for submission of the applications for renewal of the certificate of registration is the 1st of November. This news from the Department of Commerce and Investment. Applications submitted after the 1st of November and up to December 31st of this year will attract a late fee of an additional 50% of the registration fee. Applications can be downloaded from the Department of Commerce and Investment's website, which is dci.gov.ky.
We now turn to the BBC with a check of international news. That's it from me. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, I'm Shanda Gallego.
BBC News with Jerry Smith. Thousands of people in Hong Kong have joined protests against a newly announced government ban on face masks. The territory's chief executive, Carrie Lam, has invoked a colonial-era emergency law to enact the ban. Pro-democracy demonstrators wear the masks to protect themselves from tear gas and to stay anonymous. Iraq's most senior Shia cleric has urged restraint after days of violent clashes between the security forces and anti-government protesters that have killed more than 30 people. Grand Ayatollah Ali as-Sistani called on the government to act on the demands of the demonstrators before it was too late. The protesters have complained of poor public services, unemployment and corruption. British government documents have revealed that the Prime Minister Boris Johnson will comply with the law and seek a delay in the country's departure from the EU if a deal isn't reached later this month. The information was disclosed as part of a court case in Scotland. Mr. Johnson has previously said he would rather be dead in a ditch than accept any further delay to Brexit. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by Sagicor. Let us put a smile on your face. Call 949-8211.
Think about something that makes you happy. Did it make you smile? We know it did, because that's what we do at Sagicor. Put smiles on our clients' faces every day. With a large range of products to cover your family, it's no wonder most locals choose Sagicor for their life insurance needs. Serving the community for over 25 years. Let us put a smile on your face. Call your Sagicor advisor today.
Access. Information. What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Logic Fiber Internet is the fastest internet on the island, and it's gotten even better because when you sign up now, you get 1 month free. Sounds great, but there's some very real drawbacks. Your kids will never leave. You'll have nothing to complain about, and you can't blame your online gaming stats on anything but skill. Sign up now for Logic Fiber Internet for the fastest and 1 month freest internet on the island. Visit logic.ky to sign up. Terms and conditions apply.
Show your support for the scuba diving and water sports industry at the 2019 International Scuba Diving Hall of Fame Gala Induction Ceremony on Friday, October 4th at the Margaritaville Beach Resort. Tickets cost $75 pre-sold or $100 at the door, so get your tickets today. Tickets are available from the offices of the Department of Tourism and the Cayman Islands Tourism Association. The International Scuba Diving Hall of Fame Gala Ceremony, Friday, October 4th. Get your tickets now.
The Weather Report is proudly sponsored by Super Stitch Sewing and Fabric Center, your one-stop household store at 39 Pasador Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
Thinking of decorating your home or your apartment? Then Super Stitch is the place for all your household needs. We have sheets, comforters, bathroom accessories, curtains, and a whole lot more. We are the original curtain store with curtains for every room in the house. Some special Nolan curtains for $10 a panel. Yes, just $10 a panel. Come see us today at Super Stitch. Super Stitch, your one-stop household store at 39 Pasadora Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
Good morning, my friend. Let's take a look at your latest weather. Compliments of our friends at Super Stitch. Present temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are out of the south-southeast at 5 knots. Barometric pressure is at 1014.4 and rising. Relative humidity 81.8%. A broad area of low pressure along with a surface trough across the Western Caribbean will continue to support showers and thunder across the Cayman area. Radar images show extensive areas of showers in and around the Cayman area, concentrated nearer to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Individual pockets of showers are moving northward while the overall area remains nearly stationary. So our forecast for today, cloudy skies with a 60% chance of showers and some thunder. Showers may become locally heavy at times. Temperatures will rise to the upper 80s. Winds will be south to southeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Later on tonight, cloudy skies with a 60% chance of showers and some thunder. Showers may become locally heavy at times. Temperatures will fall to the upper 70s. Winds will be south to southeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. High tide is coming up in the next 10 minutes at 8:20 a.m. Low tide, at 8:20 a.m. It's going to be high at 3:56 this afternoon and low at 10:29 tonight. For tomorrow, high tide is at 3:32 a.m., low at 10:08 a.m., high at 5:19 p.m. and low at 11:41 p.m. Sunset this evening is at 6:10. Sunrise for Saturday morning at 6:18. The outlook is for similar weather conditions through Sunday morning. That's the latest weather as provided by the Cayman Islands National Weather Service.
Super Stitch Sewing and Fabric Center was the proud sponsor of the Weather Report, your one-stop shop for all of your household items, craft items, jewelry, beads, and decorations, and much more. Call Super Stitch at 949-2833 or email customer care at superstitch.com.ky.
Thinking of decorating your home or your apartment? Then Super Stitch is the place for all your household needs. We have sheets, comforters, bathroom accessories, curtains, and a whole lot more. We are the original curtain store with curtains for every room in the house. Some special now curtains for $10 a panel. Yes, just $10 a panel. Come see us today at Super Stitch. Super Stitch, your one-stop household store at 39 Pasadena Place, Smith Road. Still offering the best prices in town. Call 949-2833 or go to superstitch.com.ky.
Excuse me, I noticed you from afar.
Really? Me?
Well, not you. The KFC sandwich you're eating?
Oh, Zinger.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be funny.
No, it's called the Zinger Sandwich. Crunchy, juicy, 100% chicken breast, crisp lettuce, sweet mayo on a seeded bun with a little zing. KFC's chicken is not factory breaded, frozen, and refried like the Burger Boys. Customize your KFC Zinger and dip it in barbecue sauce.
Wow, now I'm starting to notice you too.
KFC, it's finger licking good. Think about something that makes you happy. Did it make you smile? We know it did, because that's what we do at Sagicor. Put smiles on our clients' faces every day. With a large range of products to cover your family, it's no wonder most locals choose Sagicor for their life insurance needs. Serving the community for over 25 years. Let us put a smile on your face. Call your Sagicor advisor today.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
That's right, my friends. Be sure to grab breakfast at Subway. Finally got the traffic cam app to come up. Looking at streets in Georgetown, Shedden Road, Main Street, Edward Street, looking quite clear at the moment with some trickling in traffic. North Church Street, South Church Street, similar with a build-up of traffic. Also looking at traffic coming off the Esther de Tibbetts Highway, coming into Georgetown, moving a little, trickling in slowly but surely, but moving along good. As you make your way around the roundabout onto Godfrey Nixon Way, Eastern Avenue, traffic is moving quite good. Also, just off Halder Avenue, traffic is moving quite good. Looking down Lidford Pearson Highway from off King Sports Center, traffic is actually moving, as well as on Crew Road. But taking a look at just a little further east along the east-west arterial, I can see traffic has built up considerably along that way and is crawling as you make your way into Georgetown due to police officers at strategic points trying to direct the traffic flow. Once you get past that, traffic is moving along the way. Of course, if you're heading through South Sound, a little bit of traffic until you get closer to Georgetown. If you're heading along South Church Street or up Walker's Road, getting to town or closer to town, experience a little bit of traffic along that way. Buckle up, stay safe, and you stay off that smartphone. Traffic report brought to you by Subway.
Do you ever have those days when you have to get a super early start, or you're out late at night and want something fresh and healthy to eat? Subway has now opened their third 24-hour location for you early birds and night owls. Subway Countryside in Savannah is now open 24 hours. So now you can grab any of Subway's fresh menu items any time of the day at 3 convenient locations: Countryside in Savannah, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers West Bay. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
From happy beginnings to happy ever after.
Brit K protects your lifestyle with the best insurance cover at the best possible price.
Health insurance with far-reaching benefits.
95% of claims settled in 5 days.
Low-cost life insurance.
And investments.
Security in retirement.
With a custodian pension plan.
For happy beginnings and a happy ever after.
Visit britk.ky or call 949-8699.
Brit K, where people come first.
Did you know that once properly sanitized, some tinned food items may still be safe for consumption after coming in contact with floodwater? In order to properly sanitize these tins, always remove labels, and then wash tins in a strong detergent solution using a brush to get rid of excess impurities. Tins must then be immersed in a solution made of 2 tablespoons of chlorine bleach per gallon of water for 10 minutes. Ensure that containers are air-dried before opening. For more post-hurricane food safety tips, visit the DEH website at deh.gov.ky.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the Record with Orrett Connor continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guest in the studio, so we have an open line for you all morning. We want to try to mix things up here and add the positives with some of the downside issues that we have, the negative issues that may be affecting people at this point in time. But just bear in mind, if it's a traffic issue in terms of you being delayed, it's not the end of the world. You'll get where you're going eventually. So please be patient. Don't let your blood pressure rise as a result of that, and don't let your frustrations be played out in terms of the way that you operate the vehicle that you may be using on the roads as well. So again, just exercise caution, exercise patience, as well. I'd like to extend congratulations to the new Deputy Chief Officer in the Ministry of, I'll soon tell you the ministry, but her name is Miss, the new Deputy Chief Officer, Ms. Joan West Dakers, in the Ministry of Community Affairs. I'd like to congratulate her on her appointment, as well as Ms. Sitonia Cacho, who's the new Chief Officer in the Ministry of Education as well. Both Caymanians, good to see that trend is still continuing within the government, that we're recognizing the abilities and the accomplishments of our Caymanians, and that we're promoting them. Those are the people that Caymanians want to see in these positions. Caymanians who have worked hard, Caymanians who are quite capable of doing the job as well. And I also want to extend congratulations to this year's ambassadors for older persons. And they are Mrs. Beulah McPhail, Mr. John Edward Ebanks, Mr. McFarlane Connolly, Mrs. Beulah and Mrs. Ida Scott as well. I think they are ambassadors. Hope I didn't miss anyone, but they will serve. I think it's for a year that they will serve as ambassadors for older persons. And of course, bear in mind that Older Persons Month is October, and there are lots of activities that are scheduled over that period of time for the whole month of October. The theme of for Older Month, you heard us talk about that earlier as well, and positive aging being the theme for this year's Older Month, positive aging. And you would have heard yesterday the panel discussion that took place at Constitution Hall, formerly the Georgetown Town Hall. That was moderated by Talk Today's host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks, and we had people like Mr. Rennie Barnes, Mr. Denniston Tibbetts, Miss, start calling names, and then Miss Lana Poldevart, was there as well, Mr. McFarlane Connolly. Hope I didn't miss it. Mr. Captain Owen Farrington, from West Bay as well. If I missed anyone, please correct me as quickly as you can. Let's first, I'm going to share with you the press release in relation to the referendum bill. And I have some comments that I have received from our listening audience in relation to that, and I will share that with you as well. This may be a little bit lengthy, so I'm going to ask you to bear with me on this, but I want to ensure that you receive the main thrust of this press release and what I will share with you after, as well as the whole schedule for the referendum in terms of when the bill will be presented, when it will be when it becomes law, when it will be gazetted, all of those things as well. So the press release starts by saying government has today, that is the 4th of October, 2019, gazetted a bill entitled A Bill for a Law to Provide for the Holding of a People-Initiated Referendum on the issue of whether the islands should continue to move forward with the building of the cruise berthing and enhanced cargo port facility and for incidental and connected purposes. Goes on to read, the bill provides for the holding of a referendum under Section 70 of the Constitution of the Cayman Islands. Cabinet has determined that the referendum will be held on Thursday, December 19th, 2019. Whilst referendum day will be a public holiday, licensed bars and similar establishments will be permitted to remain open to minimize disruption during the holiday season. The release goes on to read, as required by the Constitution, the Cabinet has settled the referendum question, which will be, and folks, here it is, should the Cayman Islands continue to move forward with building the cruise berthing and enhanced cargo port facility? I will read it for you again. This is what the question is in terms of, has been put forward by Cabinet in the referendum bill. Should the Cayman Islands continue to move forward with building the cruise berthing and enhanced cargo port facility? Some of you may view that, and these are my words, as a simple question. I believe that there are many people who are going to say they're not satisfied with the way the question is worded. And like I pointed out to one of our callers this week, that I believe it was this week, I better get my dates right, or it could have been last week, that there are authorities in the United Kingdom as well as other electoral bodies throughout the world who have expertise in determining whether or not a referendum question is fair, is not biased in any way. So we now have the question. You can now seek to get feedback as to whether or not this is a fair question, the way that it has been presented. On the issue of settling the question, the press release goes on to say, in respect of the question to be asked in any people-initiated referendum, Section 70, subsection 2B of the Cayman Islands Constitution Order 2009 provides that the Cabinet shall settle the wording of a referendum question or questions within a reasonable time period as prescribed by law. And of course, we don't have a referendum law, so part of that statement there becomes a little bit moot, but it would appear as if the question has been settled within a reasonable period of time. Now, again, I pause for some comments. As you know, when bills go to the Legislative Assembly, during certain stages of the bill, it is quite possible for amendments to be made. Whether or not that will occur in this particular instance, I don't know. I guess, again, it would depend on the parliamentarians' understanding of that portion of the Constitution that talks about Cabinet shall settle the wording of a referendum question. Constitution clearly states that Cabinet shall settle it. But as I pointed out before, we do know that when bills go down to our legislative assembly, they're subject to amendments in the committee stages. In the committee stage, they're subject to amendment by the legislative assembly. Government may argue, in this case, it shouldn't happen because the Constitution is quite clear that it should be settled by Cabinet. The question should be settled by Cabinet. Legislators who do not agree with that may say, but here, look here, there are procedures in this legislative assembly that allow for changes to be made. The question would be, which one would prevail? And we see what has happened in the United Kingdom when it comes to questions of interpretation. Sometimes you move to the courts to have it resolved. Will that happen in this particular case? I don't know, but I believe that the possibility is out there that even that particular issue can be a bone of contention and subject to legal proceedings as well. Correct me if you think I may be wrong. So the press release goes on to say, no guidance is given in the Constitution on how Cabinet should go about settling the wording, and there is no direct Cayman Islands precedent. So the government has addressed some of the things that I was pointing out just now, the concerns that I was pointing out. And again, I will read that. No guidance is given in the Constitution on how Cabinet should go about settling the wording, and there is no direct Cayman Islands precedent. However, there are some common sense and natural justice principles that can be drawn upon. These suggest that Cabinet should construct a question that, as far as possible, is 1. Clear and simple, easy to understand, and written in plain language. 2. To the point that is directed at the core issue in connection. I'll read that again because it seems a little bit out of place. To the point that is directed at the core issue in contention. So it should be to the point, or to the point, that is directed at the core of the issue. 4, definitive and not ambiguous or open to a variety of interpretations. And 5, neutral, which means the wording should not create any encouragement for voters to consider one response more favorable than another and should not mislead voters. And I would add to that, like I said before, in my research in terms of some of the authorities, that it should be binary as well, so that you can arrive at a yes, no answer, and no yes, no, and in between. It has to be a yes or no answer, right? The release goes on to say, Cabinet has followed the above criteria in setting the question and has also had regard to the Council of Europe's Commission for Democracy Through Law. That is the Venice Commission in its Code of Good Practice on Referendum. So what they're saying here is that Cabinet has followed international best practice as it relates to the Council of Europe's Commission for Democracy through law, the Venice Commission, and they have followed what they have in their code of good practice on referendums, right? In addition, Cabinet sought to ensure that the referendum question reflected the intention of the petitioners, specifically Cruise Port Referendum Cayman, CPR. The wording of the CPR referendum petition did not readily assist in helping determine a question that met the criteria above, as it is not written in plain language, nor does it set out any definitive proposition. Rather, it simply asks the proposed cruise berthing facility ... that means that something has been left out there, be decided solely by referendum. I'm going to pause there again, because those of you who listen religiously to For the Record would have heard on several occasions that I posed the question in relation to what is it that you want the referendum question to say. Because I believe, even though it says that the Constitution says that Cabinet shall set the referendum question, I believe that they had an opportunity to have their input at that stage to say what they wanted in that referendum question as well. And it seems as if Cabinet is saying that they did not say that. I have asked one of the proponents of one of the representatives of CPR or who's a person who's connected with it to please send me a copy of the petition, the prayer in the petition, and hopefully I'll get that and I can share that with you as well. We have reached past my commercial break. Paul, do you want to take the caller first and then go to the commercial break? We're going to take a break. We have a caller on hold. Caller, please hang in there. As soon as we return from the short commercial break, we will take your call. Please stay tuned.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
I have various items coming from different suppliers that I need to ship to Cayman. Do you offer consolidation?
Yes, Seaboard Marine offers consolidation for full and less than container loads. We can hold your packages at our Miami warehouse until everything arrives and ship it all in one go. And we have the best rates to Grand Cayman. Visit seaboardmarine.com for more information.
Shipping shore to shore, Seaboard.
Sometimes things just don't go as planned. That's why you need Contractors All Risk Insurance from Fidelity Insurance Brokers. Ensure you're covered in the event of property damage and third-party injury or damage claims during your construction projects. And with Fidelity Insurance Brokers, you can be sure you are getting competitive pricing and superior customer service. Call us today for a free quote. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Congratulations, I hear the family is expanding.
Yes, our family is growing bigger, but I don't know how we're going to get around. Our old car just doesn't have enough room.
You should head over to VAT Motors and ask about the Toyota Rush. It's a 7-seater SUV with lots of room and safety features, and it's on sale for just $21,900.
Rush in to VAT Motors for the best deal of the year on the Toyota Rush SUV. Save up to $2,600 with VAT cashback and the Toyota factory rebate going on right now. Fuel efficient, stylish, roomy, and loaded with safety features. The Rush is the perfect SUV for you and your family. Starting from just $21. Visit VAT Motors and drive your deal home today while stock lasts.
In recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens presents the Brenda Tibbetts Lund Memorial Walk Run with 2 dates and locations for your convenience.
On Saturday, October 5th, take part in a 5K walk run at Caibo, Waterkey Beach. And on Sunday, October 13th, join a 5K walk run or 10K at the 7 Mile Public Beach.
The Brenda Tibbetts Lund Memorial Walk Run, October 5th at Caibo Waterkey Beach and October 13th at the 7 Mile Public Beach.
Support our port, support our tourism.
The
cruise berthing facility will be paid for using cruise passengers' fees and not by funding from the government. Passenger fees currently paid to the Port Authority and Environmental Protection Fund will remain unchanged. This is a win for Cayman. Support our port, support our tourism.
Looking forward, looking bright. Support our port, support our tourism.
System 1 loaded. 1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio yet. We will have someone in the studio later on to talk about another topic. Meanwhile, we have a caller on hold. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning, Doc. How are you?
Pretty good. I just want to underlay my question.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, I went to a meeting at the Boston Town Civic Center.
Yep.
Where the government was having a meeting about traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And when it came to the questions and comment time, I made a comment to the government, and I said to them that I was reluctant. I didn't believe what the promises they're making about fixing the traffic jam, because any government who doesn't abide by the Constitution, I don't have much trust in them. And that was in relation to Section 117 and Section 119 of the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
The standard in public life and the district council's law, which they completely ignored. And I says, and I can't understand how any government in the world could ignore the Constitution of the country and so forth. And I started to say that what government should do, they should start to decentralize some of their services and put them east, so that people don't have to come in town to get some of the services and so forth. Shut me down.
I saw someone sent me a message about that, that they're not sure whether or not the person was who was moderating the meeting, whether or not they had been chosen to do that. But someone sent a WhatsApp message saying that they were appalled at the treatment that you received.
Yes, to shut me down, so I wouldn't speak. So I just want to ask you to read the referendum question again for me, so I can be sure of what I think. Can you read again for me?
Yes, sir. The referendum question is: should the Cayman Islands continue to move forward with building the cruise berthing and enhanced cargo port facility?
Well, you see, that's the loaded question.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
The Caymanians, they are not building any cruise port now. They are not building any cruise port now. They intend to build a cruise port.
Okay.
And the question, if you look at what the word says, continue to move forward with the building.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That assumes that the port has already begun to build.
Okay, okay.
And therefore, that question is completely false and misleading. Because when you put those words together, it means that something has already begun.
Got you.
The government was asking the question: should we continue to go to do it?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it means to move forward.
Yep, using plain language, that's what it means. Yes,
That's what it means. That's what it means. And I don't know if the referendum people have the means to attack this and to go to a court. You see?
Well, you did hear one.
Go on.
No, I was going to say you did hear one of the persons involved with it say that they really have all of their resources marshaled. They have lawyers available to address some of these issues. I think it was on one of the shows that you were on that was pointed out to us.
That's right. That was last week.
Yes.
Yes, and because the government is not building any cruise port now, so how can they move forward to continue?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You see,
mm-hmm.
The question should be: should the be something to the line. Should the government do you believe that the government should build a cruise port or something like that?
Yeah.
But not continue to move forward with the building of a cruise port. That is not the correct question.
Doc, even if it said continue to move forward with the improvements even to the port. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I get you. I get yours.
You get what I mean?
Yes. Certainly.
So they don't make it any easier. Already it's so easy. It's so easy to get together, to sit down together, to hash these things out. It's so easy in such a small community, Orrett. You and I have lived in large communities, millions and millions and millions of people. And you know how they solve problems, Orrett.
Mm-hmm.
You remember when they had the whole social black revolution in the 1960s? When they had all the riots and all those sort of things in America.
Uh-huh.
You remember how they sat down and they tried to fix it? You remember, Orrett, how they had the Operation Head Start?
Yes.
To get people into colleges and universities now education. Orrett, it's so easy to do. I don't know, Orrett. I don't know. But I just want to make that. I just want to make those observations to you.
Yeah, and I just want to say that there were people, at that meeting who were really not happy with the way that you were treated, and based on the correspondence that I received, it seemed as if some persons may have even walked out of the meeting at that stage, after the way that you were being treated as well.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Yes. Well. I don't expect any better. I didn't expect any accolades. You know that. I didn't expect any flowers.
Yes.
Because I ask the hard questions. That's what I do.
Yes.
I ask the questions, and I ask the provocative questions that sometimes people don't want to hear.
Yep.
It doesn't bother me.
All right, Doc. You take care. Enjoy the weekend.
It seems to you too, my friend.
Thank you. I want to thank Doc, for that. So we talked about settling of the question and what the cabinet has done in terms of having regard to the Council of Europe's Commission for Democracy. Oh, we have another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Sorry, didn't mean to ignore you.
Yes, good morning, O.C.
Good morning. How are you?
I am perfectly fine, and the weather's beautiful.
Good.
I just want to weigh in on two things. First of all, I want to concur with Dr. McFeel, because the question put for the referendum makes absolutely no sense. And quite correctly what he said, the port is not being built, so there should be no continuation of the port. Frankly, the question should be should a port be built? But they are asking the question in reverse. Secondly, weighing in on the traffic problem. Well, we have a lot of reasons for the increase of traffic. If we're importing 200 to 300 cars per month to this country, and we're not building any additional roads, so we expect that we're going to have a build-up in traffic. Also, we import all of these people from different countries. And when they come here, a lot of those have never even driven a vehicle. And all of a sudden, they come here, they get a license, and they import a vehicle. Another thing I've noticed happening here is, I've seen it in the papers just this week. We have people applying for work permits for helpers, and they're requiring the helpers to have their own vehicle. Now listen to this. Have their own vehicle to drive their children to school and pick their children up from school and take the children to extracurricular activities.
Wow.
This is totally ridiculous. Also, nobody should be allowed to import a car into this country unless they have some place to park the car. If you drive around at night or in the morning, you'll see the double parking of vehicles on small roads, narrow roads. And it is ridiculous.
Where if emergency vehicles had to go in there, they would have difficulty.
There should be a moratorium on the importation of vehicles. We need to stop it for a period. And they really need to get a grasp of it because it's not getting any better. It is getting worse.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you, OC, for listening.
Thank you very much, caller, for that. Very quickly, before we go to the break, this listener has written and said, good morning, OC. I'm a school bus driver. And this morning, coming out from Marina Drive, it was chaotic, trying to get out of that junction. And the person says that I think they need to put an officer there. Red Bay Junction is working well. Time for us to take a commercial break. Folk, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
2019 marks 100 years of junior achievement worldwide. Junior achievement in Cayman is now 29 years old. To celebrate and support this milestone, help Junior Achievement Cayman to continue our work, guiding next generation Cayman to new horizons in life and business. Get your ticket and enter to win an exclusive trip, Namibia, known as a smile on the face of Africa, offering a unique blend of amazing desert scenes, exquisite wildlife, and fascinating tribal cultures.
Get an adventure of a lifetime while supporting Junior Achievement.
Purchase your ticket and stand a chance to win an exclusive all-inclusive 16-day tour to Namibia for 2 persons. Namibia can be reached from the Cayman Islands with Delta Airlines flights via Atlanta and Johannesburg. Experience the astounding and desolate dunescapes of South Namibia, the amazing endangered wildlife of the Etosha National Park. Purchase your ticket today. Junior Achievement, another Rotary Central inspiration project.
Get your Junior Achievement Namibia Safari tickets on eventpro.ky before the drawing on October the 26th.
It was a day that changed my life. No words can describe the feelings of seeing my baby boy sick for the first time. The overwhelming feeling of fear to be responsible for his health and happiness became my priority. So I did what any nurturing mother would do when their baby is sick. I took him to get some of the best medicine possible.
CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy understands the importance of careful decisions you make every day for your family. Our staff work towards healthcare excellence and providing the most current and up-to-date training with pharmaceutical care, so you can feel confident in knowing that your family is safe with the right medication. At CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, we take care of your health.
Have you seen the latest? Cayman has been ranked the most expensive place to live. It's time to buy smart. It's time to buy Ropers. Find everything for your home and kitchen at low prices at Ropers. Ropers Janitorial, 949-2511. Email janitorial@ropers.ky. Clean up your spending with Ropers Janitorial, 949-2511. Ropers Janitorial also offers complete janitorial service for commercial, industrial, and residential. They get the job done right every time. Ropers Janitorial, 949-2511.
Minds are inspired by teachers. On World Teachers Day, the 5th of October, join us in celebrating the future of the teaching profession in Cayman as we open nominations for DART's Minds Inspired Excellence in Teaching STEM Award. The award recognizes and rewards teachers for their commitment and contribution to education in Cayman through STEM subjects. We all know a teacher who inspires us. Find out more about DART's Minds Inspired programs, activities, and awards at mindsinspired.ky.
Summer is over, and it's now time to spruce up your home while enjoying some savings. So let International Lighting put some extra jingle into your pockets. Savings start with sheet sets for just $15, 8-piece comforter sets from $55. And get this, buy one pair of curtains and get the second pair free. Find lots of beautiful Turkish rugs in stock. It's a store-wide sale of 20% off. Sale starts Thursday, October 3rd and ends Saturday, October 5th. International Lighting and Design and the Bathroom Palace, upstairs and downstairs, Ed's Plaza, North Sound Way. Open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call 949-5141. Spend $25 or more and be entered in the drawing for a chance to win a round trip to Atlanta, New York, Chicago, Miami, Jamaica, or Honduras. Drawing will take place in December. And for outdoor shopping, stop by the entrance of the Boddentown Church of God Chapel, Saturday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and enjoy the same savings.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matter. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I'm going to spend another 10 minutes talking about the referendum question, the referendum bill that is being published. And after that, at 9 o'clock, after we return from the headline news, we will be talking with Mr. Michael Miles. We'll be talking about Inspire Cayman training mission. So those of you who are interested in that, you will have an opportunity to listen and to ask questions of Mr. Michael Miles as well. Meanwhile, again, I want to remind you that the referendum question that has been settled by Cabinet, and whether or not that settled question will remain that way, or whether or not it may be subject to amendments in the Legislative Assembly, is another question that the courts may have to decide in that regard as well. But as it stands, the question is, should the Cayman Islands continue to move forward with building the cruise, berthing, and enhanced cargo port facility? You heard Dr. Steve McField's take on that question, and his take is that the wording, the way that it is, it implies that the building has already commenced, and to continue to move forward is implying that it is there. Those of you who may read it differently, you have an opportunity to interpret it the way that you see, and open to discussion as well. I'm going to try to share again as much of this that I can with you. We ended with them talking about the Venice Commission in its code of good practice on referendums. The release goes on to say, in addition, Cabinet sought to ensure that the referendum question reflected the intention of the petitioners, specifically Cruise Port Referendum Cayman. The wording of the CPR referendum petition did not readily assist in helping determine a question that met the criteria above, as it is not written in plain language, nor does it set out any definitive proposition. Rather, it simply asks that the proposed cruise berthing facility be decided solely by referendum. However, the CPR's initial referendum website offers two similar rationales for the petition that people were being asked to sign. First, it states the purpose of the petition is to bring about a people-initiated referendum in which registered voters can, through their ballot, yes or no, can vote through their ballot, yes or no, on whether the country should proceed with the proposed cruise berthing facility. And points are there, emphasis added. Second, it states the aim of this petition is to start a people-initiated referendum on whether the country should move forward with the proposed cruise berthing facility. So, but there's some terminology there, a phrase there, move forward, that I think could have been instructive as well in terms of the question that we have. But again, that's more room for discussion. The statement goes on to say, these statements make clear the underpinning rationale for the CPR petition and can be relied upon to represent what it was people were signing up for when they put their names to the petition. Taken together, therefore, they provide a starting point for the Cabinet in drafting an appropriate question, including the question requiring a clear yes or no response. Whilst the petitioners have focused solely on cruise berthing, an enhanced cargo port has always been an intrinsic part of the government's plans to provide for a long-needed modern port facility. That includes cruise berthing and an enhanced cargo port. In 2015, Premier Honorable Alden McLaughlin confirmed to the country at a Chamber of Commerce luncheon that the government has considered the matter carefully and has agreed on the merits of building a cruise port and an enhanced cargo port, and to allow the project to proceed to the next stage. This public statement made it clear that there was one project that included both cruise berthing and an enhanced cargo port. In fact, references to both were included in many public statements, including statements made in the Legislative Assembly, and of course, both an enhanced cargo port and cruise ship berthing were included in the request for a proposal during the project procurement stage. I'm going to pause there again. There's still a lot more to this release, but we do have a caller, and I want to take that caller before we go to our headline news at 9 o'clock. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. How are you?
Not bad, you, sir.
I'm fine, thanks.
A bit upset with your, not with you, but the port referendum racket. I mean, not the government's decision.
Uh-huh.
As a Caymanian, I have not been more insulted by my government and what they just did to us about that port referendum. A question before I go any further. You being part of, or used to be part of the elections, can you tell me what the election law says about alcohol premises being open on election day while election is going on?
Yeah, they must be closed, and they can't open until after the results have been in each district have been announced. I think there may have been some amendments to that because of the unease that it may have caused, because in many instances, Georgetown, the district of Georgetown at that time, was always the district that came in last. And at the same time, all of those persons in other districts were not allowed to sell alcohol while waiting for the Georgetown results. And what you have to look at is you have to look at the intent of the legislation. And if you look back at our history here in the Cayman Islands in terms of voting, and if you've listened to Dr. Steve McField talk about voting and what in the old days with the control of the merchant class, what was done. Alcohol was one of the things that was used as an incentive for people to vote, and sometimes not only used as an incentive, but used as a way to influence people's vote as well. So you want to look at the whole thing. I believe that there is some flexibility for the government, otherwise they would not have taken the stance that they have taken in relation to this being a referendum.
Well, in my opinion, and that's my opinion.
Sure, and you're entitled to it.
I don't think. I mean, all of our other elections prior to this one, even when we did the one man, one vote, everything was closed. So why, in my opinion, what they're doing is wrong, because they're telling me as an individual, not me in particular, but as an individual, that I can come to the polling station with alcohol in my system. Are they going to turn those people back when they come drunk? Because we know what alcohol gives. I mean, are they going to turn those people back from coming there to vote? In my opinion, they shouldn't be coming there drunken out or drinking, because that can deter. Two things you can do is that you can otherwise not come out to vote, because people will go and think rather than come to vote.
But
do we want the people to come out to vote, or we just don't, or we only want some people to come out to vote?
I'll answer that two ways, caller. Number one, if a person goes in to vote, they have to clearly be able to perform those functions. If they're unable to perform the function of voting on their own because of physical incapacity, then they can request the assistance of the presiding officer in that case. The other point would be that despite the fact, even if you were to close premises that distribute alcohol, that still does not mean that people would not have access to it and could still not and still be able to go into a polling station inebriated. So, but we know, we like I said, we want to look at what the intent of the law was to begin with, and then we want to look at the practicalities of it in today's day and age.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm with you 100%.
Okay.
And again, back to our wording of they're given for this referendum. Like Mr. Steam, I feel says it gives us an impression that the port have already started. We went as the tour operators, water sports operators. We went to a meeting on Wednesday about the
with the stakeholders. Yes.
Stakeholders, whatever it was, with the stakeholders. And in that meeting, the gentleman that was leading the group did get up and say that the construction will start in 2020. Now, they're so sure that they're going forward with it. They were very convinced that they were going forward, and it will last 2 years. So, with the question that the government is now putting out there, it gives the people the impression that it's already started.
Yeah. That's one interpretation of that the way the question is worded. Yeah.
And I think it's wrong. And what we need, what I will do, I will tell the public out there, since the government is giving us such a question like that, everybody needs to vote no, so they can go back to the drawing board again, because that is wrong.
Okay.
They're just sacking the pack for the people that they would want to vote that is for it, and we need a better. Question.
Okay, caller, thank you very much. I've passed the 9 o'clock hour, which I should have had for headline news, but thank you very much. Please stay tuned, folks. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
You are listening to Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman's newsroom. These are the biggest stories right now.
The Cayman Islands referendum bill is gazetted. On Thursday, government gazetted a bill for a law to provide for the holding of a people-initiated referendum on the issue of whether the islands should continue to move forward with the building of the cruise berthing and enhanced cargo port facility, and for incidental and connected purposes. The bill provides for the holding of a referendum under Section 70 of the Constitution of the Cayman Islands. Cabinet has determined that the referendum will be held on Thursday, December 19th, 2019. The Supervisor of Elections has confirmed that given the staff training and other preparations that the Elections Office has already undertaken, he is confident that the Elections Office will be operational and logistically ready to meet the timeline of December 19th for the holding of the referendum. In news elsewhere, texts released by Democrats in Congress reveal how U.S. officials worked to push the Ukrainian president into opening a public inquiry into U.S. President Donald Trump's leading opponent, Joe Biden. The messages come as Mr. Trump faces a formal impeachment inquiry about it. The exchanges show a senior diplomat saying it would be crazy to withhold military aid to Ukraine for Mr. Trump's political gain in the 2020 election. U.S. law bans soliciting foreign help for electoral purposes. The wife of a police employee who killed 4 colleagues at the Paris Force headquarters says he had a psychotic episode, was incoherent, and heard voices the night before, reports say. Michael Harpin, 45, was shot dead by police at the scene. His wife, who is in police custody but not charged, told police that he had a disagreement with the bosses, according to French media. French officials are trying to establish a motive for the killings. Police union officials have also suggested that Harpin may have been involved in a workplace dispute. Those are your latest updates here on Radio Cayman. I'm Shanda Gallego.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands. What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have Mr. Michael Miles in the studio with us, but I am going to take one more call in before we go switch gears and go to another topic. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C. Good morning, Michael. It's Johan Moxham. Just calling as a concerned citizen.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Thank you so much for taking this call. Just wanted to perhaps present the flip side to the coin. I also wanted to thank that previous lady that called in because she made a valid point. It's a small item, but consider this. If every election and in previous days where we've had a referendum, harking back to the one man, one vote or single member constituency referendum in 2012, bars were closed, no alcohol was served, so on and so forth. If we're going to be consistent and apply logic and reason, one would think that the government should be enforcing the same sort of conditions and rules today, on December the 19th, just because it's the right thing to do. And optically, what would make referendum day 2019 different from referendum day 2012, so on and so forth? Granted, it's a people's initiated referendum, but it is not outside the realm of possibility. And given the history of the Cayman Islands, on voting days, people were encouraged to come out, were given monies, were gotten drunk, and then sent to the polls by agents and also potential candidates. So we have to guard against all of these things, and let's just be consistent with what we're trying to achieve. That's the first point. Second point would be, Mr. O.C., if we reach a stage where the questions asked, and Dr. Steve McFeel is absolutely brilliant when he makes the point that he makes, it would appear by the reading of the question or the way the question is posed, this government have already committed to the signing of a contract because there is no work that has started. And so unless they are now inadvertently conforming or confirming to the public that they have signed some type of binding agreement, what work exactly are they continuing to do? Because the information that CPR and members of the public have requested of the government has not been disseminated to the public. The government have ignored 6 pieces of correspondence as if the questions aren't valid at all. But now we're talking about cargo enhancement, which I completely understand where they're going. It's an emotive issue, so on and so forth. But we had representatives of the Verdant Isle group here for the better part of a week talking about cruise, berthing, giving us their slick sales pitch, doing what they thought was in their best interest. At no point during that road show was cargo even mentioned once. So now when you realize that there's a game potentially being played where you can have a road show, stakeholder meetings, and the focus is the cruise berthing, but now the politically emotional thing is about cargo, when will the government tell us about their plans to relocate cargo from Georgetown to Bordentown? Because the one thing that is clear, cargo and cruise berthing cannot coexist, especially if you're going to have cruise berthing pairs. So in the interest of transparency, openness, and being honest with the public, don't you think that the country is owed all of the information, all of the details, all of the plans to move cargo out of Georgetown?
If that is the intention.
I'm speaking of what I know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not speculating. I'm
Okay.
speaking of what I know, and I'll be more than happy to present that information to you.
Okay.
But my point is, Johan Moxham or no concerned citizen should have to call into the radio and speak to that. We didn't have any of our elected people speak to us. The deputy premier and the chief officer, or the deputy premier in particular, went to the stakeholder meeting, sat at the back of the room, and heard around the show.
Mr. Moxham, remember now, I'm imposing on Mr. Michael Miles' time here. So if I could get you to get to the point, that would be useful.
No, my point is, who voted for the Verdant Isle group? Why isn't our elected government sharing information with us, speaking to us and representing us? Because last time I checked, if there's no contract that has been signed, on what basis is the Verdant Isle representatives addressing stakeholders and the country on issues of national importance when there is no binding agreement or information that they can present to us?
But I think this is the stage now where we were told that this information would be forthcoming now that a people's initiated referendum has been triggered and that the question has now been put forward. This is where most of the public were told that the information would be forthcoming. I wouldn't say by whom, but they were told that.
Well, logic, in my small world, I know I voted for Caymanian people that run my country, that drive the decisions and tell us or point the direction that we're going in. The CEO of Royal Caribbean and the other really good, slick, professional technocrats, they don't represent me. They are telling me what they want for them, not what they want, not what my government wants for me. And I want to hear from my government. And the last point that I'll make is...
Very quickly.
Sir, Mr. O.C., had CPR written in our prayer or petition what we thought the question should look like or be, you and others would have been one of the first people to beat us upside the head.
No, I was one of the persons who asked why. Did you ask? Did you say what you wanted the question to be? Because I thought that would have been a smart move to include what you wanted the question to be.
But at the same time, now that we have a draft bill and there's a consultation period, there's an opportunity to debate the issue and to make representations as what the question could or should be, because right now that is a very loaded question whereby the government are directing you or hinting to the fact that they have already signed up.
But I forewarned you all about all of that. I preached that every opportunity that I got. That the Constitution speaks to the fact that the government shall settle the question. Now it has been settled. The only change that you're going to be able to have made with this possibly is going to be in the legislature.
But hence legally the question is not settled because you still have to go through the legislative process. So
well, and I don't know if you listened to me this morning. Sorry for interrupting. I don't know if you listened to me this morning, but the Constitution says one thing in terms of settlement of it. That has been accomplished by the cabinet. What the rules of the Legislative Assembly are completely different, and through committee stages and stuff like that, changes can be made. The question is which one prevails over the other.
Well,
that's going to be a bone of contention, I believe. My view.
I agree with you, and I would say, thank God we have a robust and well-run legal system.
Yes.
Whereby you can take these matters out to the court. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you very much. Good discussion, and next week we'll keep things rolling on it. Now we have something concrete to talk about, folks. Now we're going to shift gears. So any WhatsApp messages, any emails that may have come in relation to the referendum question and the referendum bill that is being published will be put on hold for now, because it is my pleasure to have in the studio with me Mr. Michael Miles, who has been very, very patient. As a matter of fact, Mr. Michael Miles responded to a call that I made to him this morning. Was it after 7 o'clock this morning? He had also been in contact with me in terms of his ability to come on the show, and I was always looking for an opening for him, and he responded this morning. Didn't beat the traffic, but contended with the traffic, and is in here. So without any further ado, Mr. Michael, good morning, sir. Welcome back to For the Record. It's been quite a while that you haven't been on this show, but we have lots of exciting things to talk about. And, I do. As well, that are happening in the Cayman Islands. Tell our audience about it.
I would say close to 40 years now, our country have talked about vocational training, technical programs. My last 6.5 years within just the Minister of Education, we talked about it even more. I spent 15 years in 4 different entities within the capacities of the government. So we've had a lot of discussion on it. We've done a lot of, heart pounding, summations on what needed to happen. And, 2 years ago, I just got enough of talking about it. And I said, it's just time to do something. And this was after seeing so many of our youngsters either end up chronically unemployed or end up in a prison system, or worse, they get into this just very disastrous, being involved in the criminal justice system. So, I started saving money. I said, this need to be done. Just before Winston Chung died, one of the things that he said to me was, it's like I'm passing the baton, you have to go back now and do everything you can to serve youth as I did. And I've just picked up that mandate.
Because he was more than a football coach.
Absolutely.
He was more
So, and he believed that education should be diversified. He believed that every man should have an opportunity to feed his family. And he believed that, at the end of the day, if you're not educated in one way or another, you're not going to be able to compete. And I want to live that vision. So Inspire Cayman training was born about 2 years ago. The reality of it came in December of 2018. We've been successful in getting a couple of international accreditations. And about 2.5 weeks ago, we finally got our TVET license from the government, and we're now open. We're trying to make sure that we can spread the word and get people trained up and get people into employment.
Okay, well, that's a good introduction to your program this morning, and we're going to drill down into the details of Inspire Cayman when we return from this commercial break. So, folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The latest, Cayman has been ranked the most expensive place to live. It's time to buy smart. It's time to buy Ropers. Find everything for your home and kitchen at low prices at Ropers. Ropers Janitorial, 949-2511. Email janitorial@ropers.ky. Clean up your spending with Ropers Janitorial, 949-2511. Ropers Janitorial also offers complete janitorial service for commercial, industrial, and residential. They get the job done right every time. Ropers Janitorial, 949-2511.
It was a day that changed my life. No words can describe the feelings of seeing my baby boy sick for the first time. The overwhelming feeling of fear to be responsible for his health and happiness became my priority. So I did what any nurturing mother would do when their baby is sick. I took him to get some of the best medicine possible.
CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy understands the importance of careful decisions you make every day for your family. Our staff work towards healthcare excellence and providing the most current and up-to-date training with pharmaceutical care, so you can feel confident in knowing that your family is safe with the right medication. At CTMH Doctors Hospital Pharmacy, we take care of your health.
2019 marks 100 years of junior achievement worldwide. Junior achievement in Cayman is now 29 years old. To celebrate and support this milestone, help Junior Achievement Cayman to continue our work, guiding next generation Cayman to new horizons in life and business. Get your ticket and enter to win an exclusive trip Namibia, known as a smile on the face of Africa, offering a unique blend of amazing desert scenes, exquisite wildlife, and fascinating tribal cultures.
Get an adventure of a lifetime while supporting junior achievement.
Purchase your ticket and stand a chance to win an exclusive all-inclusive 16-day tour to Namibia for 2 persons. Namibia can be reached from the Cayman Islands with Delta Airlines flights via Atlanta and Johannesburg. Experience the astounding and desolate dunescapes of South Namibia, the amazing endangered wildlife of the Etosha National Park. Purchase your ticket today. Junior Achievement, another Rotary Central inspiration project.
Get your Junior Achievement Namibia Safari tickets on eventpro.ky before the drawing on October the 26th.
Logic Fiber Internet is the fastest internet on the island, and it's gotten even better because when you sign up now, you get 1 month free. Sounds great, but there's some very real drawbacks. Your kids will never leave. You'll have nothing to complain about, and you can't blame your online gaming stats on anything but skill. Sign up now for Logic Fiber Internet for the fastest and 1 month freest internet on the island. Visit logic.ky to sign up. Terms and conditions apply.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, it's my pleasure to have Mr. Michael Miles, who is the owner, operator, and director of Inspire Cayman Training. Mr. Miles, back to you, sir.
Yeah. So, we are. 2 years ago, I did I went on a fact-finding mission of just speaking with employers.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to find out what the needs were, especially within, one of the most booming industries, the construction industry.
Uh-huh.
So I've spoken to, at least 40 different contractors over the last just year. I wanted to have a clear understanding, not what only was what they needed as skilled labor, but what they wanted in an employee. Because ultimately, the challenges that a lot of our employers are dealing with right now isn't just about skilled labor. It's about the soft skills that those skills, especially Caymanian young people, have or don't have. And, the biggest things that came out of that kind of fact-finding mission that I went on was, something, we just have too many young people that don't understand what an employee is. They're not turning up for work. They're not turning up on time. They don't take initiative. And the list just rolled on and on and on. And one of the things that they've encouraged was, that, if I'm seriously about doing this, it cannot just be a center that provides skill training. It has to be a center that provides the skill training and the soft skills training. So that's what we've done. So we've implemented a course called Tools for Success. And Tools for Success, addresses a lot of the how to get a job, how to keep a job, how do you take initiative? How do you get along with people? How do you accept criticism? How do you provide it, without being upset and angry? How do you, have an opinion, and when someone else's, when someone else expresses their opinion, that, we can agree to disagree. And I think, a lot of youngsters, and I've dealt with young people for at least 30 years in my career. And that's the one thing that I think a lot of parents aren't teaching their kids. I'm going to have a different opinion. OC's going to have a different opinion, but I respect you still at the end of it. We're still going to have our differences of opinion, but we're going to still walk out here as friends, right? And it is about, Tools for Success is about teaching that. The skill training, we are now in 3 different industries. So we're offering courses in the construction industry, the dive industry, and we're also offering courses in the automotive industry. In the construction industry, we're offering carpentry, we're offering a construction craft laborer course, electrical, HVAC, intro to automotive, plumbing, and then, as I said, the Tools to Success is a mandatory course. In the automotive industry, we're offering an introductory course, and then we're offering a more advanced course. I spoke with a lot of folks within the dive industry, and, to my dismay, just learning that there's not a lot of Caymanians that go into the industry. It is a booming industry as well. It's, part of our tourism product, but not a lot of Caymanians are going into that. So we've decided to partner with that industry as well, and we have 2 young Caymanians that are now training up to be instructors, party instructors, and, a major part of their journey is that they are ready to have jobs. We wanted to ensure that these youngsters had a smoother transition into the workforce. They've gone through Tools for Success, and they're doing exceptionally well. They're now on their 3rd party certification training sessions now. They started about, a little over a month ago. We've subcontracted an organization that have been doing a lot of great work, Cayman Eco Divers. So it's I feel privileged to have the opportunity to serve, while still certainly working at Hope Academy. I mean, I'm doing a lot of this stuff, on my own time, and certainly, trying to raise my family as well. But I believe strongly that we need something more, and our children need their educations to be more diversified, and we're missing a huge block of ensuring that our people have steady employment throughout their lives. The industries that are booming right now is our tourism industry and the construction industry. That's a fact. Everything, every time you look around, there's a building going up. There's an apartment complex. There's a hotel. There's something being built on. I was just listening to the radio coming down, and DART has just announced again, that there's another
10-store building
that is being built, and another office complex that's being built. So we're gonna have building in this country for a very long time. Now, there's careers that are untapped. The average plumber, electrician, AC repairman, even the average, I would say, laborer isn't Caymanian. we can change that. I've often said to a lot of our young people, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. So you may start off as a laborer, but you may end up owning the company, right? I've met a lot of people over the last year of doing this, of putting this in place, that came here as either laborers and now they're owners. A good friend of mine, we grew up playing football together. He owns his own construction company. He was telling me for 19 years, I've been an owner. I started off as an apprentice and I learned the business. After that, I figured out, something, I need to cut out the middleman. So now he owns his own company and is doing exceptionally well. Why can't we train up our people to not just be employees, but be employers as well? And I think that that's the gap that we are missing. We have this one-size-fits-all education system, and I think it's wrong. I think the rest of the world now are diversifying what they're doing worldwide. I think kids from grade 8, 9, and 10 should be now open more to different careers within different industries, starting at that young age, because we know that we don't have a great success rate going into second or tertiary education. We know that. We have the statistics. So why are we not pushing more things? And then, because we're not pushing more things, we have more and more of our young people ending up in the prison system. I was in a panel in, I think, July. I was invited to sit on a panel in July at Northwood Prison. And it was disappointing to me. It was two things. It was great that I was invited to talk about what we're offering within the community now, but it was disappointing because there were so many kids, that I knew. There were so many people that I knew, all men, that I knew them as children from either as a social worker or, in the 90s, or working in education just a couple of years ago, or, managing Bonaventure Home. These are kids that were skillful, smart, they could have done well, but again, there's no direction, right? They fell flat, they didn't graduate high school, they needed something to make money, and they chose, a destructive way of doing that. So we can change that, I believe, that as a country now. And what I'm asking is for people to get behind this and let's get people trained up, right? Another thing that we've put into this to kind of solidify our partnership within the community is that I sought out as many sort of partners as I possibly can. So we went after, organizations like CUC to partner with us, DART, NCB. We went after from CUC, IWC, Sunset Divers, Clan Construction. We have at least 19 organizations on board that have said, I will take a Kimanian once you train them up. Once you give them the basic training, once they go through Tools for Success and they understand what the necessary prerequisites are of keeping employment. Because it's not about just getting employment anymore. These people want you to show up. They want their business to grow, and it involves you showing up every day, doing everything possible.
I note here where on your website that you point out that construction is not just a job.
It's not.
Can you explain that?
I believe that what we've done is undersold a lot of industries. So we say to our kids, you just don't want, you just don't want to be a plumber. That's about being out in the hot sun. You don't want to just be a laborer. Construction is a career path. Right, you start off as an apprentice, you move into a professional person, and then you're on to a supervisor role the more that you grow within the industry. I've met so many people that, again, started off as laborers, right? They've moved into either to supervisor roles or project managers. They've moved into their own personal employers. They've moved into design. They've moved into architecture. They've moved into so many things. They moved into maintenance. We have buildings in this country that need to be maintained, right? So they're no longer in the construction business. They're into the maintenance building now. Their own food ventures. I've had guys that say, something, I've done my time. I'm gonna buy a food truck, and that's what that's what they've moved into. Yeah. So there's so many different pathways now within the industry. And this is what I've been saying to a lot of young people. I'm not here to get you a job. I'm here to provide an opportunity for you to develop a career. And I think that that's the message that we need to provide to a lot of our youngsters from an academic school point, is that you're still going to make $100,000 as a plumber or an electrician. It just comes down to how hard you want to work, right? Or you can go to the bank, be a teller, and make $20,000 a year.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, Mr. Miles, want to talk about Inspire Cayman and some of the programs that you have may overlap or may be offered by other entities as well, and whether or not this is seen as competition or whether or not it seems as just adding another layer to the opportunities for Caymanians as well. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Congratulations, I hear the family is expanding.
Yes, our family is growing bigger, but I don't know how we're going to get around. Our old car just doesn't have enough room.
You should head over to Vamp Motors and ask about the Toyota Rush. It's a 7-seater SUV with lots of room and safety features, and it's on sale for just $21,900.
Rush in to Vamp Motors for the best deal of the year on the Toyota Rush SUV. Save up to $2,600 with Vamp cashback and the Toyota factory rebate going on right now. Fuel efficient, stylish, roomy, and loaded with safety features. The Rush is the perfect SUV for you and your family, starting from just $21,900. Visit Vamp Motors and drive your deal home today while stock lasts.
Show your support for the scuba diving and water sports industry at the 2019 International Scuba Diving Hall of Fame Gala Induction Ceremony on Friday, October 4th at the Margaritaville Beach Resort. Tickets cost $75 pre-sold or $100 at the door, so get your tickets today. Tickets are available from the offices of the Department of Tourism and the Cayman Islands Tourism Association. The International Scuba Diving Hall of Fame Gala Ceremony, Friday, October 4th. Get your tickets now.
In recognition of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens presents the Brenda Tibbetts Lund Memorial Walk Run with 2 dates and locations for your convenience.
On Saturday, October 5th, take part in a 5K walk run at Kaibo, Waterkey Beach. And on Sunday, October 13th, join a 5K walk run or 10K at the 7 Mile Public Beach.
The Brenda Tibbetts Lund Memorial Walk Run, October 5th at Kaibo Waterkey Beach and October 13th at the 7 Mile Public Beach.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, or for this session, I should say, we have Mr. Michael Miles, who is the owner, operator, and director of Inspire Cayman Training. We're talking about his program. I posed a question just before we went to the commercial break, but before we cover that area, I want Mr. Michael Miles to talk about the program itself. If you're interested in it, how do you get involved in it? How do you register? What are some of the requirements and everything, Mr. Miles?
So we're not here to discriminate. We know that there are people out there that may not have graduated high school but have been working in the industry. Those people we welcome. We're welcoming just about everyone. We're taking people from 17 and over, and if folks from 16 that are out of school that want to be part of the program, we're certainly encouraging them to sign up on our website.
And they may even have a job already,
absolutely,
but still have an interest.
Absolutely, because we're having one of the things that we've decided was we have to have two sides of the program. We have to have a day program, and we have to have an evening program. And the evening program we're starting next week, Tuesday, and it's going to be for those people who are working full-time, who can't just quit their jobs and join a full-time program. Yes. So, we'll start that program next week, Tuesday. And for the folks that join the day, that program will start probably in the next month or so. So we're still signing up folks for that program. But everyone can go on the website, www.inspirecaymantraining.com. The admission form is right on the website. So, once the form is completed, it is automatically emailed to us. We then schedule a time for that person to come in and speak with us about where they want to go, what is their career path. We've also scheduled orientation evenings where the program to where people can come in on Wednesdays from 6 to 8 and talk to us about what programs they want to be in, and we can provide a lot of information on how they can get signed up, and if they want to get signed up right then, we can get them signed up right then. So that's the stuff that we are doing because we don't want to cut people off. I mean, I've gotten calls from social workers, therapists. I've gotten calls from parents. I've been sitting with a lot of folks, just trying to get them to understand that, our job right now is to work with folks, get them within an industry, help them get employed. We will be partnering with the new work agency because a major part of this as well is making sure that when people are qualified, that they're not discriminated against to try to get a job. Okay. That permits aren't just taken out willy-nilly for this, right? Okay.
We have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Very thankful and highly blessed and stick up plenty that thing called that they say it's not so common anymore. Good morning, Mr. Michael.
Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
I just said it. Thankful and blessed.
Good.
And listen to me now, sir, Mr. Michael. I have only seen you in person, but one time. That was a few years back. That you were up. I'm not going to say what did or were happening up at the Lion Center, but you were there. You were up on the platform with this. I'm going to call it an overloaded binder.
Yeah.
With all of the stuff, they couldn't even close down. You had to hold it up with your two hands to keep it up.
Yeah, you're right.
You remember that time?
I do.
Okay, and I am one that when I go to places about different, whenever I am able to go to any functions or whatever, I'm at the front. I like to be in the front. I don't want to miss nothing. Because people talking around you and making miss things, right?
Right.
So I like to be up in the front, but then you know another thing, I can read lips too.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
But I'm so I've been keeping I've been keeping up from you at the Bonaventure.
Right.
I love my newspapers too, even though I miss a few now and then. And I do not miss Cayman 27 because I don't watch TV. But I feel so sorry for those older people or the elderly people, especially that used to love their little soap operas and their little stuff. Okay? Because Radio Cayman is Radio Cayman, people say, or some people say, our radio station, it is my radio station.
Right.
The only one that I listen to. And I turn the one down now in my room, but then when I'm out, I also have my little transistor, and I really miss anything much. And about the newspapers, as I said before, I miss a few of them, but once I get them, I keep different stacks of different things, such as for you, and a lot of other things, right? But right. I'm so proud. And I'm congratulating you. I am proud of you.
Well, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that.
Very, very proud of you. Yes, for what you have been doing. And you mentioned a while ago about the food trucks and stuff. I'm an ambassador for tourism, but they don't want me to get in there, so I can get certified and all like this. But that's okay. Nobody can take from me what I already know.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And this is from back in the 60s. I'm talking about now, and I became a tourism ambassador.
Right.
And then here, I've had some accident. Even going to work in tourism, I met a serious accident. Serious. Right. Okay.
Right.
I'm not gonna go there or what I was just gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, when I say thankful and blessed, thankful and highly blessed is exactly. And I got that thing called common sense, and I got that thing called faith too.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much.
No.
Now finish that? Okay, very quickly, please.
Let me get back about the food truck.
Okay.
With me being a food catering company for quite some time, but I had to give it up now because of my physical.
Right.
It's not that I can't move and walk and all this stuff, but I can't take they cooking and stuff by myself, and I don't trust people around me that they can spoil up my menus and all like that there. Okay?
Right.
So I kind of like gave that up. It's in the mind there. Oh, it's not leaving me. But then hear about the food trucks. When the food trucks started come out now, I said, okay, no, something, I could go into that. But then you know what happened? After hearing about all the robberies and stuff, no. I ain't going to go there.
Right.
Okay? So again, I say, proud of you.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it.
Very, very proud of you. And keep it up. And then, although that you have, you said about this in the prison and all like that there, let's pray for them and get them on the right track. That
Absolutely.
They can, okay?
Thank you. Okay.
So God bless, and then continue to do what you're doing. It's like I keep even saying, keep on doing what you're doing. And have a very, very, very productive day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller, for that. Thank you very much, caller. We have another WhatsApp that has been received from someone who says, good morning. Can Mr. Miles say what is the maximum age for a person wanting to sign on to Inspire Cayman?
Yes. So we are taking people from 17 years old. And if they're 100 years old and they want to learn, then they're 100 years old and want to learn, right? We have a number of 16-year-olds out there that they're out of school. They want to do something. I've had parents that call me. The kids are graduating. They're 16 plus years old. They need to get into something else. So we are working with those kids as well. So we're here to work. I've reached out to the Minister of Education as well. And I've said, I will also work with kids in the school system from 15 years old. It's up to them on what they want to do in order to get these kids an accreditation so they are now qualified to get a job. You mentioned just before the break, about the levels of competition.
Yes,
I'm not here to compete with anyone.
Okay.
I'm here to serve the country, right? So other than my organization, there's one more organization that I am aware of that have a TVET license from the government, right? TVET is now in the education law. And the only other company that I am aware of that is doing what I'm doing, but doing it very differently, is Cayman Career Academy, and they're doing the beautician school.
Okay.
So unless, there is another organization that comes forward and certainly does all the legal aspect of it, there's really no level of competition. I know UCCI has some of their programs that they're running as well. Mine is a little bit different. I've sought out the opportunity to get all of the programs certified through international bodies because I know that Cayman is also a very transient country. People don't just want to get a qualification that is just limited to Cayman. NCCR is a qualified, international recognized accreditation.
Okay.
If they want to go to the U.S., Europe, South America, North America, they can go and work. They can take their accreditations across. I've just recently reached out and got another accreditation through EduQual. EduQual is a global accreditation. So I want to make sure that people have a clear understanding that I'm not here just to offer Caymanians this, you could just stay in Cayman and work. If you want to go anywhere in the world, you can take your accreditations with you. So I'm not, and again, I'm not here to compete. My job is to serve. And I found that we've talked about it for a very long time. I'm just tired. I'm not an individual that's going to get in a room and talk this to death. I've never been known to do that. As this lady said, I've had at least 15 reports since 2000 that I've collected that have all said without proper training programs, our country, our people are not going to be able to compete long term. Well, this is what it is. We're also partnering with the prison system, so we have committed to helping them train up about 70 inmates. The first 20 started, I think, 2 weeks ago. So they also are going to be providing accredited programs to their employees, to their trainee inmates as well. And our responsibility is also to, when they get out, is to help them transition. So we've had a lot of discussions about that because we have a high level of recidivism in our country. How do we reduce that? Well, the only way that we are going to be able to reduce that is ensure that people are qualified when they get out of the prison system to get jobs.
Exactly. Okay, we're going to take our last commercial break. Before we go there, we just have an announcement from Cayman Water Company, or Cayman Water. Cayman Water would like to advise the public of road work interruptions on West Bay Road and the intersection of Lawrence Boulevard. So there will be road work interruptions, West Bay Road and the intersection of Lawrence Boulevard. Island Paving will be repairing the road surface from the traffic light in front of the Rubis gas station to the entrance of Royal Palms today until 5 p.m. and tomorrow, Saturday, October 5th, between 7:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. And this is, of course, during peak hours as well. So, and Cayman Water apologizes for to the public for any inconvenience caused, and drivers are urged to drive with cautions and obey all traffic signs as well. And of course, if there's an alternate route that you can take to your destination, then you would want to avoid that area, the intersection of Lawrence Boulevard and West Bay Road going towards Royal Palms, where road works, paving works will be taking place today until 5 p.m. and tomorrow from 7:30 until 5 p.m. as well. Folks, please stay tuned. We're going to be on our last commercial break. When we return, the conversation with Mr. Michael Miles will continue.
Congratulations, it's a boy.
During the greatest events of your life, whether or not you have the right health insurance coverage should be the last thing on your mind. That's why at Fidelity Health, we are committed to helping you get matched with the right plan to suit you and your family. We offer a range of plans to suit your budget, plus access to a network of quality care throughout the Caribbean and the USA. You can relax and enjoy life's greatest moments when you are covered with Fidelity Health. Call us today at 949-7822 for a free quote.
The Water Authority Cayman wishes to advise the motoring public of works on Thomas Russell Way, near the junction of Shedden Road on Sunday, the 6th of October 2019, from 4 a.m. until 8 a.m. These planned works are essential to upgrade the water infrastructure in the area. This work is not expected to interrupt service to customers. As a result of these works, Thomas Russell Way will be closed. All motorists are asked to drive with caution and follow the traffic signs. The Water Authority appreciates the patience and understanding of the public as it upgrades its water infrastructure and apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause.
At Seaboard Marine, customers often ask us questions about their shipments.
Hi, I'm thinking of buying a car from the States. Which port do you ship out of?
Hi, we ship out of Miami, Houston, and Brooklyn. Just let us know your port of choice and we can provide you with a quotation and answer any questions you may have on insuring and protecting your vehicle during its journey.
Shipping shore to shore, Seaboard.
2019 marks 100 years of junior achievement worldwide. Junior achievement in Cayman is now 29 years old. To celebrate and support this milestone, help Junior Achievement Cayman to continue our work guiding next generation Cayman to new horizons in life and business. Get your ticket and enter to win an exclusive trip, Namibia, known as a smile on the face of Africa, offering a unique blend of amazing desert scenes, exquisite wildlife, and fascinating tribal cultures.
Get an adventure of a lifetime while supporting Junior Achievement.
Purchase your ticket and stand a chance to win an exclusive all-inclusive 16-day tour to Namibia for 2 persons. Namibia can be reached from the Cayman Islands with Delta Airlines flights via Atlanta and Johannesburg. Experience the astounding and desolate dunescapes of South Namibia, the amazing endangered wildlife of the Etosha National Park. Purchase your ticket today. Junior Achievement, another Rotary Central inspiration project.
Get your Junior Achievement Namibia Safari tickets on eventpro.ky before the drawing on October the 26th.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're talking with Mr. Michael Miles, the director and owner of Inspired Cayman Training. Again, we're going to ask Mr. Michael Miles to give us an overview of the his program. We want to give you as clear a picture as possible of how this program works, Mr. Miles.
Right. So all of the all the courses are all interactive. Trainees will be exposed to a variety of different training methods within the construction industry, the automotive industry, and the PATA certification industries or the dive industry.
Mm-hmm.
So they all come with practicums. They all come with module testing. The NCCR courses, which are all international recognized courses, you take a module test after going through, and each, I would say, course have at least 8 to 9 modules. Each of them come with their own module test.
Mm-hmm.
They trainees have to pass by 70%. The majority of the tests, if not all of them, are all multiple choice. And then from there, once they pass the module test, they then go on to doing a practicum. So I was telling you earlier on, like, we have a course called Core Curriculum. Core Curriculum is a mandatory NCCR course that everybody have to take before they get into the core craft courses like plumbing and electrical. There's 9 modules. We have, one of the modules is power tools, for example. So once they are in that course, they go through that module. They do their module test. They have to pass it by 70%. And then they have to pick 3 power tools and use them all with safety.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to be competent in using all of them. And that's how they're graded. All of that information goes back to NCCR. And they get, once they pass, they get a blue card. Like we all call it the blue card.
Mm-hmm.
So they get this blue card.
Okay.
That holds all of their accreditations. They can go to Africa and they pull up this website on the back of this blue card. Everybody is tracked by this number.
Mm-hmm.
So they have their own registration number.
A unique number.
A unique number to them. It's all stored with NCCR. So if they can go to Africa and they can say, listen, I'm an NCCR certified plumber, the business owner pulls up this website, punches in their number, and all their credentials come up.
Yes.
So it is very, very easy to track anybody across the globe. And this is what I've said to you. We have the opportunity right now. NCCR has over 70 courses. I'm offering 5.
Wow.
So when it comes to competing in Cayman, that doesn't mean a lot to me if people aren't doing well. If I can't get folks through these courses, get them into possible workforce career paths, this isn't worth it for me. I started this not because of competing with UCCI or anyone else. I started this because Caymanians need a different level of education to get them to a place where they're successful.
We're going to take one more call before we close off the show. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Rossi. Good morning to Mr. Myers.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
About half an hour ago to your show. Missed out things. And, but I understand what kind of all this. I knew about it coming, Mr. Myers, off the school. Just want to really commend him and congratulate him, but he's been at this for many, many years. Not this, what he's doing right now with the school effort, but encouraging and bringing up and young men and so forth. Well, so it's just really wonderful. I just wondered if there's any plans in mind for like a marine school, a marine part of it, because that is in our blood, it's our life. That's what we were famous for throughout the whole world. Yet we have not managed to really push through a marine school here, and it's lucrative now. Then you hear of a good old friend Raymond Scott telling the kind of salaries that captains are now earning, chief engineers and so forth, and there's a demand for thousands of officers and able seamen on board vessels now. And I can't see why we still have some captains here who are, quite capable of imparting knowledge, chief engineers and so forth. And getting that going again, that we would be interested not just in going out there and being a mate on a charter boat or something. That is very good, but that is not where we should end up being. And I just wonder why we don't have that effort there. And, you know, with the turtle farm, one of the premier marine biologists now, Professor Emeritus Jim Handy, I think it's with University of Miami. He did his whether his second year or what. He was down here for over a year because I met Jim. Very fine fellow. This is 48 years ago at the turtle farm, and that's where he did. So we have the ability to do things. So he's an American, and so forth. And he learned here. And there was another fellow with him, Alex Satkin. I think he went on to be a record producer in Jamaica. But he was with him doing his first year or second year in the marine biology also. And I learned a lot. And he talked about it whilst I was here at the sort of farm. Yep. But I just wondered why, we can't do a marine school again and bring up some chief engineers, captains, and stewards, and ABs, first class, and boatswains, and so. Why you can't do it? I just don't understand that.
Good question, caller, and one that we can probably address at a different setting as well. Mr. Miles, want to give you an opportunity for some closing comments very quickly.
I mean, I agree with the caller, and I just want to let you know, sir, there's so much possibility. We've just joined with an organization in Trinidad, Advanced Solutions Technical Institute. What we have now been able to get from them with that level of partnership is 15 tech programs. Things like fiber optics, networking, CCTV, media and design. It is great. It is brilliant. So we have an opportunity to offer a lot. A gentleman just called me this week saying the exact same thing. He want to be able to teach young people how to be boat captains. Okay. And yeah, I'd like to do that as well, but we need to get the program off the ground. Okay. I can offer 50 different programs. As I said to you, NCCR have over 70 programs. I don't have the money to offer 70 programs, but I can offer 5 right now. Mm-hmm. And once we build the programs up, then we can offer more things in the marine environment. We're now offering scuba diving. It's unheard of, right? So we can now, put a lot of our kids through programs that we can get them into the tourism industry. Our job right now is to be consistent with what we're doing, take our time and move into it. As all the industries unfold, people are going to want different things. I'm in January, hopefully I'm going to be offering a legal secretary's course. I'm working on that accreditation right now from an organization in the UK, Silex. Mm-hmm. I've gotten organizations who've called me about leadership opportunities. Mm-hmm. They want more leadership courses because they have a lot of people who need to move into leadership positions, and they want to find out if I can offer that. So we're working on an accreditation. Everything with us right now, OC, has to be accredited. Yes. I don't want to give any of our folks or anybody that come into this country, I don't want to give people generic certificates.
Yeah, you want to give them something that is useful.
We have to, right? Mm-hmm. Because people are traveling. People are leaving the country for years at a time and taking work overseas, and we want to be able to help them. I want that when folks pay their money to me, it's worth their while, right? So that's what Inspire Kiman is going to be about, but it's also about partnerships. And this is an opportunity for organizations, from construction organizations to dive organizations to the folks that's in the automotive industry. Get in contact with me, please. Mm-hmm. Give me a call. Let's sit down and talk about how you can help possibly a young Kimanian get on his feet, get into an industry. Once I can help them do the basic training and certainly the soft skills training, because that's what we need to address right now.
Okay, So I want to wish you all the best in your endeavors, Mr. Miles, and look forward to hearing more from you in that regard. Folks, almost to the end of the show, but I want to conclude very quickly the release on the referendum bill and the referendum date. The last part of the press release points out that the Attorney General was consulted in the development of the question, and external legal advice was also sought. It was determined that the 4 principles and the approach taken to settling the question was correct and met appropriate tests. In relation to the referendum date, the choice of the referendum date is based in large part to the various processes required by law to get to a point where the issuing of writs can be made to the supervisor of elections so as to confer on him the authority to conduct a referendum. These include 1. Cabinet to settle the referendum question. 2. Drafting of the referendum bill. 3. Gazettal of the referendum bill for 21 days. 4. Debate and passage of the referendum bill in the Legislative Assembly. 5. Assent and gazettal of the referendum law and the issuing of writs to the supervisor of elections. In addition to the above process, sufficient time is needed to allow the elections office to plan for and carry out their duties, including providing for postal and mobile voting. The supervisor of elections has confirmed that given the staff training and the other preparations that the elections office has already undertaken, he is confident that the elections office will be operationally and logistically ready to meet the timeline of the 19th of December for the holding of the referendum. With the gazettal of the referendum bill and the settling of the date for the referendum, the government looks forward to settling this issue and determining whether the country supports continuing to move forward with building the cruise, berthing, and enhancement port facility. A lot more to talk about this. What has also been provided by the government in this regard is the referendum, a profile of the referendum process timeline, starting with the 8th of October 2019, the gazettal of the referendum bill, and up to the 19th of December, referendum day as well. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the very busy roads of the Cayman Islands into your places of work, whether it be an office cubicle or if you're working in the outdoors. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk Today. Remember that Cayman Water has advised you that road work interruptions on the West Bay Road and the intersection of Lawrence Boulevard will take place today up until 5 p.m. and tomorrow from 7:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. That's at the intersection of the light in front of the Rubis gas station going north towards Royal Palms. Folks, as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands, and I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful, peaceful, restful weekend as well. God bless.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Cayman Pharmacy Group, with a location in West Bay and professional pharmacy at CTMH Doctors Hospital. The Cayman Pharmacy Group has a location for you just around the corner. Seaboard Marine, with over 35 shipping ports, find your shipping solution by calling 949-4977 or visit seaboardmarine.com for competitive rates. Rotary Central, for more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. Fidelity Bank, for all your banking needs, visit fidelitygroup.com. Fidelity, we're good for you. And Roper's Janitorial, complete janitorial service for commercial, industrial, and residential. They get the job done right every time.